Okay, so it is now, is that zoomed in or zoomed out? Zoomed in. I know. I look like a hag. Ah! I'm in the kitchen. What's new? I'm just getting ready to gear up here. All right, I took, I think, a day break from it. It was 2 days out of the week. These eye drops just, I'm telling you, people. Anyway. The reason I'm turning on this video is I feel like you can, what is that noise?
Just my game.
No. Just what?
Just my game on my computer.
No. Turn it off. Okay? Let me just get this off my chest here. Because I don't know if YouTube staff and their affiliates are starting up with their antics again. Okay? So basically I'm going to talk a little bit about the foundation here. New Foundation for Community Partnerships. We're going to talk about, obviously, the trademarks. The one that's now fell off to the wayside. Okay? Because if you notice, YouTube is starting up not even a week after the American trademark New Nations Unity wasn't re-registered. And they're going back into my old videos, only this time they're going into my parka videos, my park videos, people. Okay? Because the more that these, I guess you could say, do-gooders, let me help you, do-gooders, we're here to serve the public, do-gooders, we've got the public's best interest at heart, do-gooders. What was I going to say? I already forgot. Yeah, well, we know about those do-gooders. Well, I know now what I was going to say. And that is, that's not the way it is, people. Because for people like me that actually stood up on principle and walked the talk for as long as I could walk it and talk it, I mean, that's just been nothing but scandal. Scandal after scandal after scandal. And with YouTube now, their staff, going into my old videos from, what? From, where is it? Oh, so nervous. From 2012. Okay, I'll show you what we're talking about here. All right? Now we're going back to 2012. But before I show you, let me remind you what happened in 2012. Sierra was doing really, and this is what I mean by these do-gooders. Okay? It's not always what it meets the eye, right? Anyway, Sierra was doing really good, okay? After she had Andre, she was on her methadone, and we had that hiccup where towards the end, before she got illegally evicted from her home in December of 2012, people, right? She wasn't coming home in a timely manner. Whether she needed a break from parenting Andre. And don't forget, Joan Duncan was living downstairs with Sierra with John. And we know what Joan Duncan was like, okay, in terms of antisocial, vindictive, spiteful, scornful, hurtful, right? You know, just whatever. Liked to pick fights, and, you know, and was running off to the hospital every 3 months in an ambulance so they could wheel her ass out of here because she was dying, and dying of this and dying of that. This is what Sierra was living with downstairs in the basement, okay? Okay, so, or whether she was helping somebody out in some freaking grow up, cutting, which I'm starting to think that's what she was doing because that person asked her to help wasn't that she was off doing freaking drugs, people, but for whatever reason, I don't know, like I said, towards the end of 2012, it was like in October or something, social workers showed up to say that they were closing Sierra's file. Was there any complaints? And I said, well, Anna Shimei, I think, or both of us, I don't know, but we mentioned that she wasn't coming home when we wanted her to come home. And we were feeling like she was taking us for granted. Well, the social worker took the do-gooder people took it upon herself to accuse Sierra of doing drugs and said, if you come home, we're going to come in with the cops and take out Andre. So you better just not come back. You need to learn your lesson. Okay? That was December 11th, people, when they kicked her out of 2012. And by the 21st, somebody had injected her with heroin, and that was it. It was game over. So I take it with a grain of salt with these do-gooders, because anything that they supposedly did good was a bunch of crock. And anything that they wanted to do good, they didn't do it because they never had the intentions of doing it, people. Okay? It was just something to look good when I went to court 22 times to get my grandson back as I watched my daughter deteriorate. And I have videos of trying to help her, people, but it didn't matter what I was doing, nothing was working. Because of the psychological drama and trauma, that warfare that busted up her brain even more. As those do-gooders were holding Andre against me. Well, you can't have him come home unless you can provide a room for him all by himself. So, yeah, kick your 17-year-old daughter, Shimei, down into the basement so that room could sit empty for 15 months as I fought for Andre. While Shimei was crashing downstairs because her sister was crashing. I didn't lose one daughter. I lost 2 daughters. Obviously, I'm angry because that's the scandal, my scandal, right? Not to mention Uncle John, not to mention what happened to Andre when Andre was gone, not to mention what happened to Amari, not to mention just all these years of scandal, to which made it very difficult for me to network into the United States of America. Not to mention that in itself was difficult. Or even in my own community for that reason. We know why, right? If it's not, I'm up against the ethnic culture as a whole with that organized religion that doesn't want anything to do with me outside of what? Why would they possibly follow my lead? They wouldn't. They're already on their own agenda, right? And if I go to the so-called Catholics, well, we know what we're going to get. Right? Let me kidnap you and rob you of your money and trash your family and set them up for murder and all this other shit just so that we can get fucking rich, okay? Same thing like going into a church. Ask a church to help you with the nonprofit. They want you to drop the nonprofit and go around promoting their religion, whatever that religion may be. Okay? It doesn't matter. All right? Ask a business to help you. What do you get? Oh, sorry, we can't help you because we already helped 50 other freaking nonprofits. Or we're in the process of helping other nonprofits. Or we have our own nonprofit that we prop up. Okay? All right. Scandal after scandal after scandal. The point is in 2012, I got back up on the bandwagon from taking a break from doing the park. Right? And Sierra was doing really good. Andre was doing good. And that was in it just says 2012. I don't know. Can I go on to YouTube with this? Anyway, this is what they've done. Now, I've already dealt with this, people. You see, that's the thing. I've already dealt with this shit in terms of them copywriting my videos with songs and stuff like this. This one has always given me a bit of an issue because of the song called Staying Alive. Can you see what's the matter with him? He's got his leg braces on, so maybe his leg braces are compromised there and he needs his leg straightened out. Okay, if you notice it says no impact, because back in the day, that one particular song all by itself shut down and muted my whole freaking video, and they wouldn't let nobody see it. Literally. Okay, that was like when it first got uploaded, and eventually they came and they copyrighted me, and I dealt with it, and then they released it, and sometimes they copyright me. They either mute my video, or they won't make my video visible, or they'll release it and then they come back years later and then they do something again. Like, honestly, people, YouTube is one reason why I kind of just cut back on doing public events. There was no incentive, because as soon as I uploaded anything with music on, this is the shit that I went through, as if my life wasn't hard enough. Okay? And then throw in a whole bunch of freaking scandal, public embarrassment, public humiliation, as if you're going to take my grandson on January, 15th of 2013, after you illegally evicted my daughter, but of course we weren't aware of the illegal part of it, but they just gave us an ultimatum. We gave them what they wanted. Sierra didn't come home. We put Andre in daycare, and as soon as he was alone by himself without Tisha there keeping an eye on him, they swooped in and they took him up, picked him up, and disappeared with him for basically 15 months. Okay, my kids crashed. They all became suicidal. That's what the do-gooders do in the community. All right? Seriously. All right? And that's not including 8 years of down-out freaking straight-up misery when it came to Sierra and what happened to her right up until the very bitter end. Okay? YouTube wants to open up an old freaking wound here and throw in a bunch of salt. And what? Are you feeling safe now that you can just start trashing me some more and lock me out there and cut me off there and mute me here and delete me there and just start picking away at my videos as usual, just randomly because you're bored and your boss pays you to fuck people over? Is that it? Oh, only certain kind of people. Only certain kind of people they get fucked over, right? You go off and you do a little park event, okay, and look what they've done. Okay, I don't even know. Let's see if I can Google this on YouTube, and let's see if it comes up. This is the title. Let's go on to a page. Let's just see what we can find. I'm not rushing with this video, because the only thing I'm going to be doing is going into my freaking, what is it called? Yeah, see? This one here can say and do anything she wants. This one here can say and do and be lewd and rude anytime she wants, because they promote those super stickers, right? And those just whatever. I'm just saying. Right? Anyway, stay focused. Let's see what comes up. Let's see if the video even comes up. Yeah, where is it? Do you see it? I don't even see it, people. Holly Park back online. Which one did I Googled 3 of 5. Okay? This one's 2 of 5. 5 of 5. 4 of 5. 1 of 5. Here it is. 3 of 5. Okay, so if you Google the title, you can still find it. I need to go back in and put the actual date on it. Okay? Because what I've noticed is they're not, YouTube has changed the post date. And I can tell you why they changed the post date in terms of removing it. Because through my going into my playlist and updating my playlist, right? Okay? This was done 10 years ago. Okay? let me just explain this to you so you know, if you're a video content creator. Still recording? Oh, I gotta go see why he's whimpering. Hold on. Yeah, he's coming up with all these new noises, right? And certain noises he knows will get my attention, like that. Whimpering is a new one. Anyway. Okay, so now I wasn't going to make any videos for a while because I have to focus people. It's hard enough to do what I do in a day with everything being so cloudy, right? It's right. And can you make him some juice, please? That will probably make him happy. Okay? Because he's obviously wanting attention right now because he knows I'm talking. He's got his leg braces on, too. See, he knows I'll go running for him, right? Anyway. I don't know. A little while back, I got into start working on my playlist. But that's a very daunting job, okay? Because I've got something like, 2,300, 400 videos? And I started uploading, going way back into my videos, right? And then putting them into playlists, right? And I got through halfway of 2012. I just topped off a few with who, how, and why Shimei died, her playlist, right? Just because I get busy, right? So, I put the most important up-to-date information there in terms of what happened to her. But as I go through my videos and I watch them and I listen to them, I'm trying to figure out what's the best playlist. And if I hear Shimei's voice, I'll put that in her playlist. Or if I see her, right, or whatever, same thing was, okay. So anyway, I only got through halfway of 2012, and I haven't been able to pick up on it. And I've been thinking for the last week, I guess you could say, to get back and start doing that soon. I just have to find the binder that I had with the printouts from back in the day, right? And just continue where I left off, because I check them off. I double check the time, and and they have the proper post date. And this is how I know YouTube, when they took down my whole channel for those 3 months, they went back into my videos and they altered some of them, people, simply because whatever they did, they put it at a new post date. Okay, it's not matching up with what I printed out because somebody went in there and re-uploaded it after it had been edited and changed the post date. But at that same time, I noticed that YouTube staff and their code writer took out when these videos are posted on the actual day of them being posted. So, of course, for years I've been trying to put the date of the time when these videos were made because of that, to compensate, right? Because, 10 years ago, that could mean anything. I don't remember exactly when I did this park event. Obviously, it was in summertime. And we were just starting up again from 2008, I think was the last one that I did. I took 2009 off, but then I ended up going into Gateway Place, into the courtyard, and I did the playground restoration follow-up, the Malcolm X chocolate milk party, right? I did a little business event in 2012, promoting the foundation outside of, at that time, I think it was Bingy's Restaurant, and that natural food, store and whatnot, and yeah, so and then we did the park, right, in summertime. I think I did the little event outside the businesses in September around that time, because it became the chocolate milk, the Malcolm X chocolate milk party back to school, right? So that would have been around September, and then by October, that's when those social workers showed up the do-gooders saying that they wanted to close Sierra's file, but because we were kind of worn out with Sierra not coming home, because she was off doing other things, maybe just trying to get away from freaking Joan, who knows? Okay, I didn't even want to be around Joan, okay? So, you know, and I had a buffer upstairs, so, right, and, you know, and then they kicked her out and just everything fell apart, people. I mean, the scandal was there before, but it just wasn't really up in your face. That's when it really just started being up in everybody's face. And, you know, I dealt with the copyrights with each and every video that went up. And, you know, like I said, sometimes they would mute the whole video, or they would... Thanks. They would either mute the whole video, or they just wouldn't let the video show, or whatever. Then they would release the video, and now they're back in doing it again. And I find it to be convenient because, you know, the way I see it, people, is they don't want other individuals, other people, aka the public, coming across my videos and coming to the conclusion that, one, I gave it my all, and that I was a really nice person, and that my intentions were in the right spot, and that it was just pure of heart, right? Whereas those do-gooders, YouTube staff, the government that's in bed with YouTube, because we know that shit's going on. You know, those dirty cops cruising the internet as they're sitting outside down the road with their hearing wear, you know, those little round things that all they have to do is point at a house and they can hear everything that's going on in the inside. What do you think those cops are doing when you walk by them in the middle of the night sitting there looking at something? They're listening to other people's conversations, people. There's a special, it's a special mic that can do that, right? And I think you can even talk to people through it, because the person who, I think, developed that, they were in a library. They were in a library, that's right. And they were projecting the mic at people that were sitting at desks or wherever, and they would talk into the mic, and it would just kind of just go to them within their... Right? Now, mind you, that's a different kind of mic. So one is to send sound, the other one is to receive sound. Okay. So either or, you know, like, I've had scandal in my family. Pretty much, they use Sierra, right? I mean, that was the whole purpose of getting Sierra addicted to drugs by age 13. Okay? And we're not talking just, you know, we're talking methamphetamine, which is one of the worst. Outside of, I guess you could say, fentanyl now, because fentanyl is the murder weapon. The meth was just to get them addicted young and keep them addicted so that they could be milked of their essence in terms of pimping. Pimping them for money to buy the drugs, and then eventually it leads to, you know, until there's nothing left. And then they still capitalize off that shit. Okay. We know that. So, we'll just say 2012 is, I mean, the targeting, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I can go further back than that. I can give you many different stories how they did it, you know, in terms of, first of all, financially disenfranchising my family. Okay, that's how it starts. And if they can't pit one family member against another, then they find one to pluck out, put them in a vulnerable position, get everybody fighting over something, right? Because it's to implode the house from the inside, right? With that, you know, cortisol going. And, okay. So we'll just, in this video, we'll take it from 2012. So with YouTube staff going into my 2012 video, specifically attacking something like the park event that was meant to promote a universal school meal program and school restoration in the United States of America, on top of other programs that all fell under the trademark name. Okay, but clearly the people on my end in Canada, British Columbia, Canada, didn't want that to happen because they had to make sure that it didn't happen by destroying my daughter and her family, by severing her from her only safety net that she had and putting her in a very volatile, dangerous position, and then basically kept her out there for 8 years as they held Andre over my head as hostage to say that if I helped my daughter, I would lose my grandson, because that's the game. That's how they keep you under that ball and chain. Right? But that wasn't enough for them. No. Just wasn't enough. I guess I was still fighting too hard for the foundation or something. Maybe I was standing loud and proud. Who knows? Something that they didn't like, though, because then they went after, I guess, who was next. First it was Sierra, then Andre. Then it went to John. Yeah. And then it went to Shimei. Actually, that's not true. It went to John. And then it went specifically to Amari. And then it went to Shimei. Because they knew if Shimei survived, she'd be a witness to the whole process and would have been able to get a lawyer, because she's the mother of the injured child at the time of his birth through the medical staff. Okay? Andre, I'm talking. All right? And so they had to take her out. And they sure hell didn't want no witness in regards to Uncle John. And to this day, with CIBC Bank serving me those papers on the day, on the afternoon at 1 o'clock or whatever the hell it was, after I'm called downstairs at 10 o'clock and finding my daughter dead, just confirms to me it was staged. It was all planned, people. Okay? It was CIBC Bank who helped to facilitate the medical kidnapping of Uncle John, as they scandalized me. Have it all on video. You see, that's the thing, right? That's why I want to get up into my playlists and just start working on my playlists. Just go from year to year, and certain other videos, put them into other playlists, just to kind of whatever. Because, you know, I'm at the point where there's not too many things I want to say, quote unquote, right? I don't even know what the next batch of videos are going to be outside of, do people really want to see me using my clay bean pot to make beans? Would they be even interested in watching that? Because what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about the same old crap, right? But there's only so much time to talk. That's the thing. That's why I'm not doing too many videos right now, because, you know, why? What am I promoting here? Right? Can't really promote a universal school meal program or school restoration or family programs or anything good. Like, you can't, because especially if you take it out into the public and bring in a little bit of fucking music. But go on TikTok and you'll see everybody playing music and nobody gets shut down. I do, though, right? You know, they're going back to 2012 when Sierra was looking good, just to start chipping away at anything good that might be on my channel, so that they can keep me in that scandalous position as they promote people like that Latrice Allen that now wants to open up a nonprofit and to be a do-gooder and give back to the community so that she can get her little tax write-offs with the money that she makes off of Facebook and YouTube, because that's her work. Get out of here. It's so fucking fake, man. You've had years to do charitable work, and you refuse to do it because you yourself, as what, a content creator, couldn't make money for yourself first. If she would have put the nonprofit first and helped me with the nonprofit first, she could have made money on it in terms of a commission or whatever. But she chose not to do that. Instead, she ran off and, oh, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, yeah. New nations. Oh, sorry. New donation. New donation. Like, fuck off. So fucking fake. Right along with that Raw Squad shit. I don't care what these women think if they're watching my videos, seriously. Because you want to sit up there and talk lewd shit about Latrice Allen just so that you can keep the traffic going as YouTube props up your ass because you promote their super stickers, because that's basically what it's about. You think I'm going to get anywhere with my channel, people? No. No. And with them coming in, attacking old videos so that they can hide the truth even more as to who and what my family represented all these years, so they can promote their, I don't know what the hell it is. You know, Latrice Allen can get up there with all her kids and, you know, do live streams and have comments and do all this and post her video and people can comment, right? Same thing with that Raw Squad. She can do her lives and people can comment and she can post her video and they can come back in and comment as she's accusing Latrice Allen of molesting her son and all this other shit just to keep people coming back listening for a little more juicy gossip. So that super stickers can be cashed in at some point as YouTube is exploiting both of those channels. But you see, they're not exploiting them. They're in partnership with them. Me, I put up a video with Amari sliding off the couch showing that, you know, he's thinking, right? He's using his critical thinking skills, right? Now he's down on the floor and he's looking around at his toys and he actually picks up a book and, you know, I'm like completely amazed, right? Because it shows me it's more than just, oh, I'm at the end, there's the rail, you know, if I, you know, and he knows, people. You see, that's the thing, he knows. So, but he's adventurous and he wants to do it, so he's gonna do it, and he did it, and when he got down to the floor, okay, because I was sitting there watching him, I was helping him with it, all right, because I know my Houdini baby here, right, and then gave him the book, you know, and what, YouTube wants to put no comments on that? Why? Why, people, why? Who are they protecting? They're not protecting children, because if they were protecting children, I would think that they wouldn't promote what it is that they promote. Especially when it's fake. And if it's not fake, it's half fake. And it's only being done to make personal wealth for themselves that do this shit. As YouTube now is going into my old videos trying to scandalize me even more. Because they know I'm not in a position to re-register $3,200 for a trademark name that they're going to freaking trash anyway. YouTube trashes the trademark name. They've been trashing it since 2009, people. And they're still doing it. I see. That's the way I see it. Why are you coming in after all these years tagging me for the third time on this one video? And that's assuming you're not going to come back tomorrow and tag me on the next 4. Like, seriously. Anything to piss me off. Anything to keep that cortisol going. Anything to keep me feeling like shit, right? Anything to make me feel like a fucking failure. Anything to make me look scandalous. That's what YouTube promotes. I guess that's why Latrice Allen and Raw Squad are so successful. because they're going around trashing each other all the time, and then they come back in with their fake shit. Well, I'm not going to trash her no more, but I'm going to be real positive, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and I'm like, you know, you're just a bunch of fucking losers, man. Seriously, a bunch of fucking losers. That's what 22 years of putting your heart into something gets you. A bunch of fucking losers. Alright? And you get gang stalked. And demoralized. So I don't know what they've done here. I think they cut off Russia. I think they let the video continue to play. Outside of maybe in Russia. First of all, I don't have a problem with Russian people. If I have a problem with any kind of people from out that way, it would be the Ukrainians, because I'm Ukrainian and I know what Ukrainians are like. Okay? So before I'd have a beef with anybody, it would be with Ukrainians. My own kind. Then it would be with the Russians. What does that say about Ukrainians, people? And my last name is Chorny, which means black in Ukrainian language. Go figure. Right? I proved them right there now, didn't I? But you see, that's the thing, though. They didn't like it. Ukrainians don't like that kind of stuff. You know, they try and keep us blonde if they can. And even then, they come out blonde. And their hair color changes. Some of them stay my color, some of them get darker. So I guess we're not pure blood Ukrainian from a Ukrainian's perspective. Why can't Russians listen to my video? Because YouTube staff said so? Yeah, okay. And when does it end? They're just starting up again. I'm not even off my strike yet. I'm waiting for another strike to come in randomly out of nowhere. Yeah. As BitChute is being attacked with shoddy business practices from banks that want to control the narrative. Well, we know how banks can control the narrative with Uncle John. Okay? And then all they have to do is go crying to the government, and the government will protect them. In terms of when you take it to court, what happens? Nothing. They just turn around and scandalize you even more. Right? Yeah. Yeah, so when I see shit like this happen, this makes me think that they're just trying to shut down my channel. And keep me in that scandalous zone. Right? Because they're sure in the hell not helping me. That's for sure. So you see, here's the copyright. It just came in. YouTube. Copyright claim. Your video has been blocked in some countries. I'm pretty sure it was Russia. So hard to see. Russia. Yeah. That's not right. That's not right. Okay? And then when you go here, video copyright details, not affected, visibility partially blocked. There are some visibility restrictions on your video. However, your channel isn't affected. And they did 2 of them here. I guess it's called Yay. Right? Blocked in some countries. And Love Sex Magic. And back in the day, see, 7 years ago, the targeting of my family began in January of 2003. Well, actually even before then, but like I said, we can take it back. I'm just wondering here. Okay. Here we go. See, this is what they first did here. No games, sound recording administrated by... okay, so I guess this was not released, but then claim released. To learn how to claim impact your videos. This one, they didn't, I don't know, you see, they're always changing shit. I just don't have, here's again. What is this? Oh, boy. I can't see anyway. You get the point of what's going on here, right? Right. I don't think it's right that they should just start this crap all over again, right? I mean, obviously it has something to do with boycotting what, Russia? You know, like, that's not right. You want to boycott Ukraine too, right? But this is politics. This is the do-gooders doing the good in society, to which isn't always so good. So it's interesting that they should go back into 2012, because I'm like, well, which binder was I using before when I was going through my playlist in 2012? Because I thought I'd just start at 2012, right? Minus what YouTube has removed from my channel over the years in terms of literally removing videos. I don't know. It could be anywhere. I don't have time to look for it right now because I'm sorting out the kitchen. I know that. I got my dates. And it's so hard for me to see. I see something here. This might be the binder. See? And it only goes so far because when they changed their format, these ones print out better than what they were printing out before. I can't see this right now. It's pretty gray. So anyway, I'll look at that later. And now that I know I have this, I'm sure I can find something more than likely. Either or it's someplace else. So yeah, it's just interesting that I've been thinking hardcore for the last week about getting back into my playlists and just trying to fit that time in and putting them up. So that I don't, because I'm not going to be doing, I don't know, people. My days are numbered on YouTube. Yeah. Way, way numbered on YouTube. They don't want people like me to be successful. So now I'm just going to take you on this, and I'm just going to show you what YouTube does like, though. Alright. We'll go into videos. And then if you notice, This one is the same. There it is right there. There it is right there. There it is right there. Just saying. Okay. I don't need to do too much more of food prep. I just need to finish up with what I'm doing. So before I continue to show you how to wash jars and dehydrate raisins and dates and all that good stuff, I just need to get into my older videos and just put them all into playlists and let it all speak for itself. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So, now, as a final thought, I offered, let me see. I offered a viewer on YouTube oh God. For me to send her an order you see? And then they do this just to freak you out. Right? Important notifications. Know your place, bitch. Video received a copyright claim. Okay? I still have my strike yet, people. Okay? Right? Anyway. Let's just go let's see. Oh, here we go. My name is Shelly, and I appreciate you. That's a lot of money, and I would feel bad. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this for Shelly. Okay, Shelly. Truly amazing. Okay, she has 2 accounts. She calls herself Forever Blessed. We're gonna finish on this, okay? She calls herself Forever Blessed or Truly Amazing. And she's mentioned before. Where am I? She's mentioned before. She just, okay, I just approved it. Okay, so we're going to talk about that briefly here for a second. She mentioned before that her name, Shelly, right? And she has a mom. I'm pretty sure it's her and her mom that watch my videos. I think she's in Massachusetts, something like that. I think, if I remember correctly. Someplace in the States anyway. Okay. And you know, with my videos, right? I mean, what can I do up in Canada? Non-profit going off to the wayside, trademark going off to the wayside, you know, hanging on by a thread. Well, you know, just trying, I don't know. I did the videos to keep the non-profit out there, people. I just didn't expect all the scandal to go around it. Okay? And I sure in the heck didn't expect for the world to be going in the direction that it's going in right now, considering all things said, right? So, obviously, I use food prep as a means to, I guess you could say, have content, whatever. I told the story about things that happened bad to my family over a period of years, how, why, and when, and what the end result was, and blah, and blah, and blah, okay? And at the end of the day, though, you know, like, I know it's getting really hard for a lot of people in the United States of America, and you see, that's the thing, you have to take it back to the core, right? Back in the day when I first started out with the foundation, my life wasn't perfect, right? I mean, obviously I was a poor woman, but I lived in Canada, completely different place than the United States of America when it comes to being poor, quote unquote, right? I thought I had the whole world ahead of me, and I was going to break free. And not only was I going to break free from that quote unquote manufactured poverty, but I was going to break free millions of people, hundreds of thousands, millions of people, just via through the foundation. Huh. Talk about young and dumb. Right? Well, fast forward 22 years later, yes, there's going to come a time when I'm going to be facing homelessness because of the corruption in the housing market within British Columbia, Canada. When the time comes for me to leave this house and I'll be moving into nothing affordable. Okay? To which could very well put me in jeopardy of losing my grandkids and everything that I own. Those videos are real. Those emotions, that story in real time as they occurred over the years, people, is real. That hasn't changed. Okay? But does that mean that I, one, have to live in fear and, you know, and just whatever? Or you know, can I not be nice to a person? Just randomly be nice? You know, people were nice to me, right? The Christmas Bureau with Kennedy Pub, you know, gave me the meat and gave Andre a bike and, you know, and my landlords let me stay in this house and, you know, why can't I help somebody else out in the States? Being that I'm crying, people. You don't know it, but I am. Right? And I know that the people in the States are having it, not all of them, but a lot of them, a whole lot more than Canada, that's for sure, are having it tough. Right? We're a little behind. Okay? In terms of those food deserts being created. They're being created faster in the United States than they are in Canada, but that's not to say that it's not happening in Canada. We're just not noticing it as fast. Okay? And you have to remember, the level of poverty in Canada is completely different in terms of the numbers, especially when it relates to families, right? Compared to the United States. Like, you can go into shelters in the United States where they have 10,000 people in a shelter with many of those people being whole families. Mother, father with children in a shelter with 10,000 other people in the shelter, especially when you get up into New York and places like that. We don't get to see that stuff on YouTube and that kind of stuff because they keep it hidden away from the public. But for anyone that has inquiring minds, we know that this exists. Okay? Whereas in where I live, well, you're not going to find no father, mother with little kids living on the street. You might find the father and the mother living on the streets with the kids now in foster care, but you're never going to see 5,000 families, father, mother with children, father with children, mother with children, grandparent with children. You're not going to find that kind of stuff out here because of the numbers of people in Canada in general is low in population compared to the United States. Right? So what I'm trying to say is there's a greater need in the United States because of the number of people in comparison to Canada. So, you know, if I was just coming into the game with food prep, listen, that came from me first. Okay? That's what people do. They come to my channel, they listen to what I have to say, they pick up with their catchy little phrases that I say, pick up on them, and then they go back to their little channels and they start running those catchy phrases and incorporating into their to make themselves seem cool. Okay? I spent $365 today, people, on buckets. Why? Why? Well, I'll tell you why. First of all, I really love these buckets. I bought 7 more 2-gallon buckets, and I told the company when I feature them, I'll make sure I put the link into the description box if you want to buy for yourself. I bought 3 6-gallon buckets, but they didn't come with lids. So I bought 3 orange Gamma lids separately, and I bought 3 green Gamma lids separately to see if I can fit the other 3 into buckets that don't have lids here in the house that, you know, I don't have to spend $17 for a bucket, right? Otherwise, I'll end up making another order and I'll end up ordering some more buckets at some point. But that's because I'm at the end of my food prep where I just kind of want to get it done with. And there's not much that I need anymore, people, because that's all I've been doing for all these years, and honestly, I'm getting tired, you know, and I know what my triggers are, you know, with the fear porn on YouTube with their, like, you know, food shortage videos, and the Canadian preppers always talking about that, you know, it's imminent, going to war, and this and that, and just, you know, and it's like, oh. So, but, you know, there comes a time when it just gets to be enough. And I'm pretty much at that point now, and that's why I just got these buckets to bring in that staple routine. And I have a couple extra buckets that if I want to give one to Tisha or one to Marcane or something, like, you know, Tisha's getting into bread making, so maybe I'll fill up one bucket as a tester. I bought a Leah May, a little hand crank wheat grinder. It was only $99. I bought it last year, right? And I could just hand over Tisha 2 buckets, right? I can give her one with white soft wheat and one with red hard wheat with the little grinder, and she can go home and grind wheat, and she can make bread with a little Amy in her Mixmaster that I gave her. Other than that, like, you know, if I need anything, it would probably be only 3 more buckets. 6-gallon buckets, that is. So that if I want to, but then I got these 3 Gamma lids coming, so I might be able to scoop up on the buckets that I have here as long as those Gamma lids will fit, and I'm good to go, people. You see, that's the thing. I'm good to go. I'm not worried about it. But I know people in the States are coming into even harder times. I'm coming into harder times too, but, you know, Canada's always been behind on the side of the times, right? And, you know, I mean, for me, I don't know. So anyway, this person, you know, she uplifts me, always telling me, you know, she cares about the kids and whatever. She's just some random person, you know. And every day I think about what people are really going through in the States, those below a certain income level, and just knowing what I know, and and I just wanted to, I don't know, make her day. So I offered to buy something from Essential Matters, which is really Organic Matters. The same company, but one is in the States and one is here, right? And I did the math in terms of, well, I always like my free shipping, right? So you got to spend 150 US, which works out to about $202 Canadian, right? And I mean, I want value for the money, and the nutritional aspect of it. So I chose what I think would be best to start off with, but that doesn't mean she has to take it, because there's other things she can choose from, right? I chose cornmeal because it's high in calories. That's the first thing, okay? And then I chose the whole oat, okay, which is like almost in a kernel, because you can grind that up and you can make oat flour, or you can cook it as a porridge, okay? Because I do believe within the year we're going to have probably a shortage on oats. Turn that down. I'm almost done. Andre,
Yeah?
turn that down. I'm almost done. Right? And there's more nutrition in the whole kernel. But I mean, this was just a suggestion, right? And it'll be stand for long-term storage, right? It's just better to have that outside something on it, right? Now the husk of that oat kernel is removed because it's non-edible, but what remains is edible, and it looks kind of like a grain of rice or a wheat kernel, really. So even if she wasn't to get to it right away, as long as she stores it in something where bugs can't get into it, then that stuff will sit for a while, long time. Oh yeah. Otherwise, I'd be ordering large flake oats, but that's something she can go and get in the grocery store, unless of course that's what she wants, in 25 pounds or whatever the bag is, right? And then mung beans, just to top it off past that 150, because you can sprout them. And with the issues that are going on in the United States with the vegetables, fresh vegetables not being as fresh as they used to be, or being in abundance like they used to be, right? That's why I'm choosing to think about sending her mung beans, because those can sprout, and then she can have those in with her, meal, right? Soups. It's a form of a fresh vegetable that she can put in her soups and saute and do whatever, right? By the time I do that in Canadian funds, I think it works out to $237. Listen, I just spent $365 on buckets and bucket lids. Although I did get one more bag each of sprouting seeds, because once my kitchen is organized, I do plan on getting into sprouting seeds. So, now I already showed you. Alright. That's a lot of sprouting seeds. Okay? I ordered another one of each one here so that I have, plus I still have from when I was ordering a year or two ago. Some of them I have in freezers. For long-term storage. So when I say I'm coming to the end of my food prep, I'm serious. I want to start using this stuff. The only thing is, I don't know if doing videos around it makes any more sense in terms of what's the point, right? So what, you watch me sprout some seeds. Put it into a sandwich. Who cares? Right? That's not what's important when people around you are hungry. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And especially if you can't even help. Right? So, you know, I'm just, I don't know. I wouldn't call it being nice. I mean, I think it kind of goes to that. Well, let me help you with, like I said in the post, let me help you with your food prep. Right? Whether she has started, because I've always been encouraging her to do it, and everybody else that watches these videos. Right? But it's harder for people in the States on fixed incomes. With the inflation that is, I don't know, going at a faster rate than maybe Canada, right? Because, you know, they're facing high electricity bills. My electricity bill has stayed the same. My gas has stayed the same. I haven't had to face that. My landlady hasn't raised the rent, right? I think she's just grateful that I give her the rent. Serious. She had to give an eviction notice to some other tenant that she has that apparently is a really mean person. And rude and just whatever and whatever. So I said, well, you're not going to do that to me, are you? She said, no, but they still have the house up for sale. But whatever, you know, that's like, no. You know, this is not a cock tease here. I'm serious. I'm ready to go. I told her all she has to do is contact me through my Gmail, and you know, and I'll give her my phone number and she can call me and I can confirm who she, because God forbid, you know, I mean, like, she could send me, because it's an open post on the comment. Of course, YouTube let that go through, right? So, you know, and of course, you know, she's being shy, right? You know, it's not too much. That's nothing. When you spend $365 on a few buckets and some sprouting seeds, you know, that's nothing. That's nothing. Nothing. Now, don't ask me to do that every month, because I won't, because I'm winding down. You see, that's the thing. I'm winding down. If I needed it, I'd keep it. But I'm weaning myself off of it. You see that in terms of the food prep. After I get these buckets, I'm going downstairs doing what I gotta do, see what I got left. And really, the only other thing that I want to order, and I've already told my son this and my daughter, there's not too much more outside of I am getting the whole grout oats, right? That's it looks like wheat, but it's not. And I want that for oat flour in the event that flake oats, whether large or quick oats, whatever, go in short supply. I have the ability to make the flour so that I can use it with my dates or my raisins or whatever. Okay, you got to think ahead. And if chickpeas are available, obviously I'd order another. That's why I want the 6-gallon buckets. Order, put the gamma lid on, that's it. And maybe some more mung beans just to have them on hand. And I might even go as far as another hard red wheat, a bucket full, and hard white wheat, a full bucket full. But outside of that, people, and maybe some navy beans. You see, it never quits with me. Right? That's why I'm offering her some. Take on some of this karma. Let the food go your way a little bit for a while. Right? You know, let me get caught up with what I got here first. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's passing it on, you know? It's like, yeah. What, you know, I don't know. I mean, she's going to watch this video. Really, all you have to do is just send me a Gmail on my Gmail, right? New Nations Unity, all one word, at gmail.com. Pretty straightforward. You can go on to my About page, and it's posted right there. If you go on to Facebook, it's Judy Chorney, but make sure it's the right Judy Chorney with New Nations Unity. There you'll see a link that takes me to my New Nations Unity page. Then you know you got me. And you can send me a link, or I mean, you can send me your address. And give me your phone number. I'll just phone you briefly to make sure it's you and not some scammer, some stalker. Who knows, right? I just sent April's little girl a Christmas gift because her box is still sitting here. Lucy's box is still sitting here. Okay? But I'm going to be working on these boxes pretty soon. I actually put April's box, it's her little girl's box really. It's more for her little girl than it is for April. April's cookbook is still in there. But I put it back on my sewing table. Right, so I can work on it over the next month or two and finish, because I'm putting odd and end things in there, right? You know, Peggy's box with Lucy's box is down the hall, right? But I'm not putting boxes in the mail right now. You see, that's the thing, right? I don't want to lose the dream of food security. You understand? Right? I'm trying to just help somebody with food security, even if it's just a little bit. Right? Brighten somebody's day, you know? Oh, 3 boxes and, ooh, let's see. Oh, wow. This, you know, maybe she's never gotten stuff like that and coming in at 25-pound bags. It's a nice feeling. It really is. I mean, she'll have to go off and get some containers of some kind. She can scoop up on those buckets. There you go. Right? When I get my buckets, I'll give you the link for the buckets. I can send you the link for the buckets, and you can order yourself a couple of good buckets. You're good to go. Yeah. Yeah. Unless, of course, you can get them cheaper in your local neighborhood. As long as it's just the bugs, you have to make sure no bugs get in, that's all. Right, moths or whatever, right? Depending on where you live, too. I don't know what your living conditions are like, right? You know. So, my offer stays, okay? Right? I kind of want to do it soon, though. Like, I'll show you. I already did it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to contact me so I can finish the order. I've already got it ready to go. Okay? Where is it? I'll show you. Right here. See? There's Essential Matters. Okay, you can see. Which is considered to be organic matters here. If you see here, right, view cart, we've got the organic mung beans, the organic oat groats, whole, and the organic cornmeal. Right? That's in American dollars. And then the exchange rate would be $2.37, which is really, it's a drop in the bucket. If I could do more, I would, but sometimes we do just what we can. And I do worry for people. So you can see it's in my cart. So when the time comes, all I need to do is just put the shipping address differently on it. That's all. Alright, not shipping it to Canada. I'm shipping it to somewhere in the States. It doesn't cost us anything. Right? You know, you're telling me you're looking around for a lawyer to help me here in Canada. You don't know how that makes me feel. It makes me feel very, 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 very good. Although I don't think it will ever happen, because what you're going to get is a whole bunch of people telling you it's not their jurisdiction and that by law they can't help me. It has to be a Canadian lawyer. Yeah. Maybe even one that's just isolated and situated in BC. I don't know. But definitely Canadian. Alright? Because it goes back to that manufactured poverty. right? If I could start something online as a fundraiser to do stuff like this for other people and families and whatever, well, you know, I can't though. I just can't, right? So I'm just going to do what I can do, and this is something that I can do, and I want to do it. All right? I think it's a great way for me to finish up with what I'm doing here at home. Right? Because seriously, I'm almost done. And I plan on paying down bills this year. So, right? I plan on picking some stuff around the house to sell and do my blind woman's auction. I plan on, if I can see, making some sexy underpieces for women that like shiny things. And I'm going to pass them on to my daughter so she can go off and sell them. I don't plan on ordering wheat and beans and this and that, unless of course maybe I want to send somebody something just to help them with their food security in their own homes, because I know what it feels like to be forgotten about and to sometimes feel as if your hands are tied. And I know just with that amount of food that would be sent, oh God, that'd keep you going for a little while, right? Not a long time, but for a little while you could spread it out. And of course, if you don't like the choice, what I chose, you can always go on site and look around and find what you like and just keep it at that about 150, 176 price range. Just whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. You're the one that has to eat it. But if it helps you to feel a little more safer, at least even for a little while in terms of food security, then yeah, for sure. That's what I want for you. Just like you want good things for me, I want good things for you. And your mom. Yeah. So you think about that. Don't come back and tell me, oh, well, you know, that's a lot of money. Because maybe next month, I don't know, maybe next month might be a lot of money. But not right now. So I would really highly recommend, you got me now, so, you know, don't be shy. Okay? Let's just get this over with and get that feel-good stuff going on. Okay? Right? You know, sometimes when you give to other people, it makes you feel good. Well, it's making me feel good, right? It's making me feel good that I'm making a difference with somebody in the United States of America, okay? Outside of a little girl, okay? Because I said I just sent something to a little girl in the United States, okay? Who's been patiently waiting for her doll that's now on my sewing table. You don't know. This doll has been traveling around my house for 2 years, people. If it's not in my living room sitting on the floor in a box, it was over here, just in my dining room sitting on the floor in a box. It's been in my sewing room like 2 or 3 times already. Well, it's back in there. I asked April, her mother, I said, do you guys still want that blackberry jelly? Because I made that, oh, I don't know, 2020, 2019. I have to go downstairs and get a jar, right? She says, yeah. I said, oh, okay. Because you do realize that was like a couple, 2, 3 years ago when I made that blackberry jelly, right? Because that's how it all started, right? So she said, yeah. And I have to bottle up my little bottles of vanilla extract. But there was no rush to send the box now because, you know, I'm not finished with it yet. Right? Some things I'm fast at, other things I'm slow on. Okay? It's funny. Really, these boxes, 3 of them. Lucy's, April's and Peggy's between my sewing room, my living room floor, my dining room floor, back in my sewing room, back in the living room, on my table, on the floor. I just moved it yesterday. Put April's box for her little, mostly her little girl, right? Back on my sewing table so I can get that done over the next month or two for sure, right? For sure. Lucy's box and Peggy's box is down in my bathroom on top of my canning jars. And trust me, I want to get them out in the mail. It's just not time yet. It's just not time because I haven't been able to dig around and do for other things, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Peggy wanted some black walnut ink. I have to dig for those bottles. I don't even know where they are right now. So I'm not rushing with that. That's, right. So it's all done with good intentions here. Forever blessed. Truly amazing. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Right? I wasn't embarrassed when I accepted these gifts from the Kennedy pub. Okay? Right? Think of it as a New Year's gift to bring prosperity into your home with organic food. It's just the first to find its way. Right? As YouTube is trying to spoil the party.